All right, so I got some more news. This is one of the projects that I was kind of hinting at the other day. So I've been going back and forth on what I should do for this project that I want to do. But this summer, I want to take a road trip up to PA and back. My girlfriend's family lives up there, Woodward's up there, and there's also some trails up there. I really want to try to get Marcel to hit some trails. So we're thinking about like Posh and Caddy. After talking to Brian while he's working at Swamp Fest, he might even be down to meet us up there. So I don't know. For some reason, I was looking at some buses, and I think I decided that the bus is not going to be the option. It's just too big. The insurance sucks. There's like a whole bunch of things you got to convert to motorhome, and in Florida, it's kind of difficult. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that are going to watch this video that say, no, it's really not that hard, but there's enough stuff that I researched that I just don't want to have to deal with. That being said, I have this 7.3 diesel that I bought from my neighbor. It's a 1999 F250 Super Duty, and it's got high miles on it. It's like got 220,000 miles on it, so I'm not saying it's a perfect candidate, but it seems to be running good, and the 7.3s are known to go for a long time if they've been properly maintained. My neighbor babied this truck, and then I have started to baby this truck. I've had to do a few things on my own. I've done a van build before, so on this channel I've actually done a van build. I'll put some of the clips in right now. Honestly, I don't even know what to say. I just started working. So this is gonna be this, and then the walls are gonna be like that too. So right now I've finished up this, mount this bad boy in, and then I'm gonna prep the floor, and then I'm gonna start doing the floors. I'm so excited for you guys to see what I got for the floors. So yeah, I called that the man van. It was a big red burgundy van that I bought off of Maddie's neighbors like a long time ago. I bought it for like 6,000 bucks, and then I redid the whole thing, converted it, lived in it for 7 months while I was out here in Florida with Scotty. And then when we went back to New Jersey after I bought my house, I was like, I don't need this thing anymore. I sold it. I honestly wish I never did sell it, but it was just kind of like the circumstances at the time that kind of like didn't force me to sell it, but I just kind of got in my own head and ended up selling it because I thought I needed the money. But I was looking at other vans, and I was like, oh, I could get another van. But the thing is, I don't want to have to buy another vehicle, because when you buy another vehicle, then you got to pay the insurance on that vehicle. You also got to run the risk of you don't know what you're getting unless you buy a brand new ProMaster or a brand new Mercedes Sprinter, and I don't have the money for that, and I also don't want to have to pay the insurance on that. I have a 1999 truck, and I have my 87 4Runner, so my yearly insurance on those is pretty cheap. That being said, I was like, well, if I add another car, that's gonna be insuring 3 cars, and after talking with Trey and everybody around me, I have some pretty bad decision-making skills when it comes to buying vehicles. A lot of times I get burned, like that Duramax, got burned on that, learned my lesson with that. Buying another van right now probably wouldn't be the most sensible decision. Do I have the money to buy a van? Yes, I have the money to buy a van. But at the same time, I also have a great working truck here, and I actually got this idea from Corey Martinez. I was looking through the internet a lot, and I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to do after the van, and I was thinking, oh, maybe do like a tiny like little pull-behind trailer. But I really want to be able to pull the car trailer with my 4Runner on it, so I could take a trip possibly with my 4Runner. I'm going to build out of a wooden frame. I'm going to do the poor man's fiberglass that he talked about in the video, which is where you use like canvas and then wood glue, and I'm going to build this thing myself. He stopped his roof right here. Me being 6'4" and a bigger person, I want as big of a bed as I possibly can, and this being a bigger truck, I can afford to have the extra weight. I want it to come all the way to the window and have it come all the way back here, have at least 6.5 feet to stand so that I can stand fully up inside the back of it. And it'll be wider than his because my actual bed is wider, and it'll be longer than his because my actual bed is longer too. So this is an 8-foot bed. I'm gonna get rid of the toolbox. I'm gonna build a camper shell inside this thing. And basically what I'll do is when I don't need it anymore, I can put it on jack stands and like pull it out, and I can leave it in my backyard somewhere. So I really always need a truck. I have to put plywood in my truck, wood, different supplies. Right now my truck looks insanely messy, so I'm gonna focus on cleaning this entire thing out, getting the tool bench out, and then I'm gonna start measuring. And this is gonna be like a build series. So I'm not saying I'm gonna film this all in one time. I'm gonna do multiple different updates in the build, just as if I did my van thing. So little updates, they may not be as long as the normal videos, but they'll be pretty interesting for somebody who's maybe thought about doing this. It's gonna be something different than the van build. It's gonna be way easier than doing the bus, and I think it's gonna be the cheapest, most cost-effective way to enjoy the ability to travel anytime I want, just like I did in my van. Woo! Oh, that was quick. All right, now that I got all this cleaned out, and yes, I do have a weight plate set in my truck with a bar and you never know when you're gonna have to get a quick lift on. I would use those some mornings when I was at Swamp Fest. If I didn't go to like a gym, I would just go to like a park and lift that up. Me and my girlfriend the one day went to like this park, and I just started pumping out some plates and some pull-ups. It was pretty great. So I feel like everyone should have one of those in the truck. It is a necessity, that is for sure. This is 100% clear now, but before I start measuring stuff out and trying to draw some stuff up inside, I gotta sort through all this BS. I have so much shit in my truck that I don't really even need, so I'm gonna make a trash pile and then a keep pile. A lot of it's gonna be a trash pile. All right, so I went inside and I wrote down some measurements that I'm gonna need to take now that I got the whole bed all cleaned out. Got some stuff still left in here, but kind of got all the trash organized. I got my toolbox in the back so I can put that back in whenever I need it. But for the building process, I'm gonna keep it out. So I got the things length from front to back of the actual bed itself, length between the wheel wells, because that's gonna be like as wide as I can make the little bottom section until I get up into like this section right here. So the bottom where you walk will be skinnier than where it will be like up here, and you can have like some bench seating on that side, and then the bed will be over the cab. And the height from the bed to the top of the cab, meaning that height right there, so from there to the top of the cab, because that'll know when I can start like the thing. So basically I'm just gonna build like a box, and then I'm gonna build the front side onto it in 2 separate pieces. And then the width of the cab, so I wanna know how far it is from like there to there. And then I wanna know the width of the bed, so from there to there. So I'll probably make the overall width of the entire thing from here to there, and it'll just kind of like hang over on the side. But most people that do the camper slide-ins, that's how they look anyways. Even when you get a camper from like a real slide-in place, that's how they go too. They're always going to be wider than the actual truck itself because the way the truck tapers in like that. Then I need to know the length from the back of the cab all the way to the front of the cab. So that being said, I'm trying to figure out this length right here. So from this point, from right here all the way to about right here where the dash line goes, because that's where I'm gonna see, that's where basically my bed's gonna be. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna have to stop the box a little bit in here and then have like a little gap right here. I'm not too sure. The bed is like one of the main focuses for me. Me being 6'4", I want to be at least able to have 2 people in there, because it's usually going to be, a lot of times it probably will be me in the bed when I'm doing road trips for like BMX stuff. But if I ever wanted to go somewhere with my girlfriend, I at least need to have 2 people be able to fit in it. And me being 6'4", it's got to be kind of big. One of the things in my van that I hated the most was I made my bed kind of crappy. Like I was very, very close to the ceiling. It was super uncomfortable and it wasn't that big. I had to sleep on a diagonal, and when I had my girlfriend at the time, when we would go in the van together, it was terrible for her. She'd have to go cocoon style and it sucks. So I'm gonna try to avoid doing that same thing here. Okay, so after drawing a lot and trying to come up with the best like looking thing and the game plan for it, and talking to Trey a little bit because he gave me some advice, my original wood count was insane. Like I must have done something wrong, or I thought I needed too many 2x4s in a certain spot. But I'll show you kind of like the plan real quick here. I also got some papers. So originally I came up with this idea right here that you guys saw me drawing out. And it required 41 2x4s. And when I was talking to Trey about it, he's like, there's no way. So he redid it and I drew it on a napkin. We kind of went over it again and he was like, I think you're gonna need more like 25 2x4s. I don't need to get 1/2 inch, I should use 1/4 inch because it'll make it lighter. So basically after all that said and done, I got a wood count and it's gonna be around $330 just in wood to get this done. Then there's gonna be some insulation on the inside of these walls. I'm gonna have to do the poor man's fiberglass, paint, sealant, seal all the edges, and screws. When it comes to raw materials for this build, it's looking like it's going to be around $500, which is way cheaper than I thought. That's not going to be including the fan, the windows, and all that stuff, but that's all stuff that I can do down the road. I just want to get the actual like structure built and at least get that going, and then I got to put like a bed in it and whatnot. But again, that's all stuff that I can figure out down the road. That's pretty cheap though, considering like I was about to buy a topper. Like I almost was like, screw it, I'm over it. I don't want to feel like doing this. I was going to buy just a topper for my truck, but the point about the topper is it kind of sucks when you have a topper, because then you have a topper on your truck all the time. But when it comes to this thing that I'm trying to build, I can literally just lift it up on jacks and drive my truck out. And then whenever I want to use it, drive my truck back in and sit it down and put some straps on there. We're good to go. So I don't have to like... All right, we're at Team Orange right now. I'm going to get all the wood. I'm estimating to spend between $300 and $400 right now. That's like my budget. So hopefully we can stay below that. If not, well, that would suck, but I think it's gonna be around that. If it's less, well, hell yeah. So let's go grab it and see what the damage is. So I was talking to Trey and I was gonna do a bunch of 2x4s, but we decided we're gonna change it up to 2x2s. But I need to get 10 sheets of 1/4 inch. Now we need 25 of the 2x2s. Which I'll be honest with you, I've never
thought in my life I'd ever be using 2x2s, but a stack of 6 right here. I guess it's fine. It's cheaper. Not that much cheaper though. It is cheaper. 25 of these. That's 6. There we go. Let's roll this up. There we go. It's perfect. That's exactly what we need actually. So we got the paint brushes. We got the paint for the outside. I'm going to do that waterproof sealing. We got Dynaflex. We got the goods. We went to $383, but I gotta see what the wood costs because I want to be curious. The majority of the money was like, actually this stuff is like $60 for both of these, so that's kind of expensive, but it's better than exterior paint in my opinion because a lot of people use exterior paint. This is legitimate waterproof ass paint. So let's do the math real quick. There's $177 for the one thing of plywood, and then it was $87 for the 25 2x2s. So 177 plus 87 is 264. It's not bad. It's actually right on mark. I said around $300, and I was below my total quote for the wood of $400. So that's a pretty good day. And we got new blades, new screws, little paint kit. All right, so we got all the supplies back at the house. We're gonna keep it covered right now. I don't have time to work on it right this minute. So basically what I'm gonna do is kind of leave it here for right now, and we'll get back to it. And I'm gonna do kind of updates as I go. They're gonna be very similar to my van build where I would just do like update every time I did something new on it. I'm gonna kind of just chip away at it. My goal is to have this done by SwampFest, and SwampFest is going to be sometime in April. I can't forget the exact date. I think it's April 2nd. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it's April 2nd, but that's my goal. I just got to get it done before then. So it's if I slowly chip away at it, I should be fine. It's just going to, I mean, maybe I'll get it done really fast. I can actually use it a time before that. That'd be cool too. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Just want to let everyone know if you guys are down to support this build, and so I can kind of go a little bit maybe even crazier with it. It'd be awesome. I got some camper shirts available on my store right now. It's the same exact thing I did with my van. If you guys want to support the channel in any way, go hit the web store and grab something. Just a t-shirt, that'd be awesome. And then send me a photo on Instagram and tag me in it. I'll be sure to repost it too. So I hope you guys are stoked on this build series. And yeah, I'm going to go ride my bike for a bit. I'm out.